Welcome back to another conference tournament prediction video, and today we're doing the Mid-American Conference, also known as the MAC, and there's some very exciting teams in this conference. Akron is a very exciting team. They have a fast-paced offense, and they are, I believe, the smallest team in Division One. They run through all their guards. Kent State has a very good defense. Miami, Ohio is a very good three-point shooting team. There's a lot of exciting teams in this conference. Real quick, though, before we get into our predictions, make sure you subscribe if you're new. Check out our previous conference tournament prediction videos. I appreciate those of you who have been watching every single one and commenting. So shout out to you guys. Love to see the engagement down there in the comments. And, yeah, comment down below who you got in this tournament. But starting off at the top, the 1 seed, Akron Zips, taking on Bowling Green. I'm going to take Akron pretty easily here. They're 17-1 in conference. They've been running through this conference. 25-6 on the year. This Akron team is legit. I really like their chances here. I don't think Bowling Green has the offense to really hang with Akron. I mean, really in the slightest. Bowling Green, 14-17 on the year, 8-10 in conference. I don't know. There's not much going for them in this matchup here. I like Akron pretty clearly. The 4-5 game is interesting. Toledo versus Ohio. Toledo played a lot of good teams in the non-conference. They played Purdue, Houston, some other pretty solid teams, UC San Diego, some other solid teams from mid-majors. So I like that for them. But recently, man, they've been struggling. They lost 4 of their last 5. They've lost 6 of their last 8. Now, granted, in this past 8 game, there's this kind of skid they've been having. They did beat Ohio by 14, and they actually swept Ohio on the season series. So that is something you could look at. I could see Toledo winning that game for this reason. But Ohio's ahead of them in KenPom as well as Torvik. They have better predictive metrics by a pretty good amount, actually. Toledo, very good offensive team, top 100 offense, but a bottom 10 defense in the country. I worry about that for sure. Ohio's a bit more well-rounded. I feel like I can trust them a little bit more. They force a lot of turnovers. They play at a very fast pace, which I think maybe could hurt them against Toledo. But in Torvik, Toledo's the 6th best team in this conference, behind even Central Michigan, who's not even in this tournament. I don't know. I think this one could go either way. Toledo, I mean, they beat them. They beat them twice, but I don't know. Recently, man, and I know they just beat Ohio, but recently they've been struggling. I like that Ohio's a bit more well-rounded. I could definitely see this one going either way. But I will take Ohio to move on. I think they're just a little bit better overall. And Toledo, with being such a good offense, they don't shoot the threes very well. They're they're a bottom. I believe they're like a bottom 10 team in 3-point rate. I don't really know how that works. I feel like when you have a good offense, you gotta shoot threes. Toledo doesn't do that, so I don't like that. And I like Ohio. They play at a fast pace. So if it does get into a high scoring game, I think they can hang. And like I said, Toledo doesn't shoot threes, so I don't think they'll get out to a crazy lead. Miami of Ohio, on the other hand, though, they are a pretty good 3-point shooting team. I didn't realize this, but they are actually like top 25 in 3-point percentage as a team. They're shooting like almost 38% as a team. They're just a very efficient offense. And defensively, they're not bad as well. They don't turn the ball over. Experienced team. Really, the only flaw that I'm seeing is they don't shoot very many free throws. But against Eastern Michigan, I don't think that really will come back to bite them. I think Miami, Ohio is a very solid team. I think they're being slept on a little bit. A lot of people are talking about Kent State and how, they have such a good defense. I think Kent State has better odds to win this conference than Miami of Ohio. But Miami of Ohio has been very strong all season. They're 14-4 in conference, 3 games ahead of Kent State, and I know we're not even to the Kent State game yet. But Miami of Ohio against Eastern Michigan, I think they should be fine. Eastern Michigan, just nothing really too exciting. And then Kent State versus Western Michigan. Western Michigan is, I believe, the lowest team in Torvik in this conference, at least that made this conference tournament. They are 282 overall in Torvik. They're 12-19, barely inside the top 300 in defense, outside of the top 250 in offense. I think I think Western Michigan will have trouble scoring on this Kent State team. Kent State has a Very, very, very strong defense. They're the second highest team in this conference in Torvik and I believe in Ken Palm. And yeah, that's got a lot to do with their top 100 defense they have. They defend very well and they offensive rebound. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. Um, Offensively, they can struggle at times just because they don't shoot as well as you may like them to. But defensively, they're so strong. I think they get past Western Michigan here and move on to the semifinals of this conference. And I think these are probably the four best teams. Um, you could argue Toledo could be in there, but I think Ohio gets them third time around. But now they play Akron, and this one at first glance may not look interesting. Akron's been so dominant; they're 17-1 in conference. They are one of the nation's. If they get into the tournament, they will be one of the country's favorite teams. I can tell you that just because how small they are. I mean, they really remind me of Samford from last season. If you get what I'm saying, small team, fast team, shoot a lot of threes, very good offense. And Samford was one of those teams everybody was on last year. I think Akron could be that if they win. The problem is against Ohio, recently, I believe pretty recently, they actually lost their only conference game to Ohio, and Ohio like blew them out, which I think is a little bit concerning. They did split on the season series, so it's not like they got swept. But it was like 3 weeks ago. Ohio beat them by 17 points. I think Akron will be fine. I think their depth serves them well here. I think just overall, they're a more experienced, more complete team. They're a top 100 team in Torvik as well as Ken Palm. They're 25-6. I think this offense is so good, and don't sleep on the defense. The defense isn't bad whatsoever. They're top one, just outside the top 150 in defense. I don't know. I really like this Akron team. They got a top 70 offense with them. Shoot threes very well. They're one of the fastest paced teams in all of Division One. I think against Ohio they get past them. Looking at Ohio is also a fast paced team, and they do defend the three very well. So I can see why they did beat Akron the first time. They also force a lot of turnovers. But I don't think they beat them again. I think Akron is just too much here. I think the depth really is the thing. Fast-paced game. I like Akron's depth more than Ohio. I think they can wear them out, even though Ohio is good in fast-paced games as well. Now we got Miami of Ohio taking on Kent State, and this one is interesting. A lot of people are going with Kent State here, and for good reason. Kent State's a very good team. They're ahead of Miami of Ohio in pretty much in most predictive metrics. I could really see this one going either way. Honestly, Miami of Ohio 23-8, Kent State 21-10. Like I said, these are both very strong teams. In this season series, Miami of Ohio won the most recent matchup, 96-92. They also won the first matchup, 70-61. So again, I can see why a lot of people are going to Kent State here. It's hard to beat a good team 3 times. Kent State's defense is very strong. But Miami of Ohio, if they have a good shooting night, I mean, they've been very consistently, too. Top 25 in three-point percentage. I like that for them. They're just a very efficient offense in general. They're top 30 in effective field goal percentage. I don't know. They don't turn the ball over very much. Miami of Ohio is a good team. Kent State's a team that kind of, I don't want to say relies on turnovers, but that is what gets their offense going at times. Kent State, very good rebounding team, but Miami of Ohio is not a bad rebounding team whatsoever. I think they'll be fine in that regard. I think Miami of Ohio just outscores them, honestly. I don't know. Kent State, Miami of Ohio is not, they're a faster paced team, but not anything crazy. So I think they will be fine if Kent State does slow it down a bit, which they definitely will. They're a slow-paced team, defensive. They want to grind it out. But I think Miami of Ohio is going to be capable to hit some big shots in the clutch time. And Kent State, being as good of a defensive team as they are, they're not anything crazy defending the three. They're actually pretty bad at defending the three. So I like that for Miami of Ohio. I think Miami of Ohio gets past them. It's a little chalky here. I mean, I'm telling you, Kent State's would be favored against Miami of Ohio. So, but seeding wise, it looks a little chalky as we have the 1 versus 2. But Akron versus Miami of Ohio, I would love to see this championship game. I would also love to see Akron Kent State. That'd be offense versus defense. That'd be very fun. But both these teams are offensive first. They only played one time in the regular season, and Akron beat them 102-75. They absolutely dominated them. Uh, that isn't a good sign for Miami of Ohio. The fact that this is going to be a fast-paced offensive, whoever can score more. I mean, that's every game, but you get what I'm saying. Akron just does it better. They shoot the three better, which is Miami of Ohio's maybe best part of their offense. They shoot the three better. They defend the three better as well. They're faster. They have a higher ranked offense. They rebound the ball surprisingly well for a team so small. Um, I don't know. I think it's Akron's conference to lose. I really like Akron here. Um, I just think in a fast-paced game, the team with the faster pace and the better offense, and the team that's been better all season, I like them here. So I'm going to take Akron. And if they do win, they'll probably get like a 13. This team could make some noise in March. Don't count them out. They're a small team, but man, are they fun. Maybe the funnest team, or the most fun team in all of the country. Honestly, I wouldn't say that's ridiculous. I think for those of you who have been following the sport, you know about this Akron team. They've made a lot of noise, and yeah, I think they have a really good chance to make even more noise come tournament time. I think they punched their ticket here out of the MAC. But let me know who you guys got out of this conference. Comment down below. And make sure you subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. We're doing a lot of college basketball content, all 31 conference tournament predictions. But not only do we do college basketball, we do college football when that season's going, NFL weekly picks, NBA videos. Those will be coming out here soon. And then same with MLB. That season's right around the corner. So once we're done with the conference tournaments, we'll get back to the NBA, MLB, and continue with college basketball as well until that season's wrapped up. But yeah, if any of that interests you, turn on the noties, make sure you subscribe, and check out our previous conference tournament prediction videos. Those will be popping up. But with all that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we will continue to post conference tournament prediction videos daily. So yeah, stay tuned for more of those.